Up, everybody? Welcome back to Chats with the Freak. My name is Emmy, and I have Anna from Rock Dance Theater calling in from Sweden. How are you doing today, doll?
I'm good. Thank you very much. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm going stir crazy being in the house this much with everything going on with this coronavirus thing. It's definitely been setting everybody back for sure. And I'm sure everyone feels that on being like trapped in the house. You know what I mean?
You know what? Absolutely. Same here. Hunker down, home studio, home office. I was actually laughing, with my friends the other day. This has been the longest that I lived in my house, like period in a row. Even if I'm not on tour, not traveling, I'm just out. I treat my house like a hotel, kind of. Even if I stay in, it's usually like 2, 3 days in a row, super intense, where I either veg out or I'm just unavailable because I need like downtime to myself. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty wild and different, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Like when I haven't really had any time off since last year. And last year I only took like 4 or 5 days in a row off just to kind of like chill out and recoup. So I was like, oh, whoa, what do you mean I'm home for like a month straight? This hasn't happened since I was like in middle school. What's going on?
Yeah, you're like on a penalty kind of thing. But you know what? It has its charms as well. Like I say that, what can you do? We're all in the same situation, so pretty much you can just profit from the downtime and really focus on things. And man, I'm surprising myself actually how busy I am these days. Maybe we might all be out of a job, like here in performing hours. It's just like, gigs canceled, workshops canceled and all. But man, I gotta say, days pass by so fast, and I get a lot of stuff done. So yeah, I've been busy. I cannot really complain. Considering the situation, of course. With everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Like I've been trying to like ball out doing like a bunch of different stuff, catching up on housework, and it's just it like you said, the days are flying, but it's still like, we got so far to go.
Yeah, it could be a while. So I think it's a good way to kind of get used to getting stuff done in a different way. We have all of these cool tools, and everything works digitally anyways right now. So I guess it would be a matter of time anyways to have either live streaming shows or, courses online, workshops online. I had to also hook up my workshop online thing as well. And, I've done that in the past just a couple of times due to geographical reasons, because I work with people from all over the world, and it's just not possible to meet up. So, a class here, a class there, but not out of necessity, that it's kind of like you cannot go to the studio, you cannot be in the theater, you cannot be out. So yeah, it's different, but it's manageable as well to figure those things out.
Yeah, it's definitely showing if everyone's resilient and able to kind of like think through things before and try to kind of find a creative way to do things like you were saying, doing your workshops online and stuff like that. And I know there's been a lot of artists that have been doing live concert streams and to try to
Yeah.
make up for some of the stuff. I know William Duval from Alice in Chains did one because he had to reschedule his whole European tour. So it's
Yeah, I
definitely.
actually tuned in. Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty neat. And, everyone is kind of freakish about it at first because of course we're all about human interaction and like being live in front of people just like a meter away or like 3 meters away. So it's different, when you kind of just talk to your screen or you're like you perform to a camera and to a mic. It's weird because then you kind of judge yourself. It's like, is it good enough? Do I really want to put that thing out there? But at the same time, we're all people, and we're all doing kind of the same thing, struggling and surviving and keeping ourselves strong. So I think that bit is still ahead of me. I haven't put a show together. I was supposed to go on stage tomorrow, like 4th of April. We were supposed to do this Rock for Charity thing. Just like a semi big venue club thing, raising money for animals and all. So line up me, rock dance theater, for other cool artists, kind of classic rock, kind of punk rockish kind of vibe. And the organizer of course had to postpone due to obvious reasons, but it's like one of these things. Maybe we're going to do a live stream anyway, figuring this out, how to put all of us from different cities, in one box, in one broadcast studio. And we already know it's doable. It's just a matter of time, and also raise money for the causes that we wanted to. So, it's somewhere down the line, probably.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love the fact that like you guys are trying to get that online, and I see so many other artists trying to still be out there and still be productive and getting like their live streams up. And it's definitely making the best of a bad situation.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. I always say the show must go on. I've been actually not really laughing, but because it is a serious matter. People are really getting sick out there, really dying. The numbers are getting up, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I always said it's my personal life philosophy that show must go on, and I've never canceled a show in like over 20 years of my whole career, maybe once because I sprained my ankle in like general rehearsal and I was just like done, and I didn't want to perform, on crutches. Like the aesthetics of the show, like it wasn't really working with that. So I figured, no, makes no sense to kind of compromise that and give that to people. So yeah, but that was the only time. COVID-19 did the rest, obviously for all of us. So, but this too shall pass, as they say.
Yeah, for sure. So I obviously know what rock dance theater is. Can you explain to people that are listening to this that don't really know what you do, what exactly it is?
Yeah, I'll do my best
Okay.
because it's one of these things, performing arts is better just to see it and experience it than talk about it. But I've gotten a little bit better over the years, Um, I'm professionally out of my super first education. I'm a dancer and a choreographer, and pretty much this rock dance theater thing came about like 3 years ago, where all of the things connected to being on stage, and being in so many aesthetics already, doing all kinds of stuff from Buto Japanese avant-garde stuff through physical theater, jazz, musical, which I actually started off from. Something was kind of missing for me. It wasn't burnout. I don't want to call it that. But I was kind of yelling into the universe, you know what, I need something more to kind of enhance that and bring it to another level with everything that I do with my live shows that are pretty much coming from my head. It's kind of my ideas. I'm the artistic director of the thing, and then putting it out on stage. And rock kind of found me. It's not like I asked for it, not like I planned it. And the first thing that kind of appeared, I had to start playing guitar. So I kind of learned that, still am like self teaching. And you know what? In long story short, it's kind of a hybrid that connects everything that is understood through rock-driven music, mellow-driven music of all shapes and sizes, with physical dance, physical contemporary, action, and a lot of fashion and style in it. And everything is, funny enough, interlinked. So, musicians partner with me, they go into physical action, they do lifts while playing bass, I walk on them, there's partnering. So it's a kind of weird, fusion of all of those elements. And we say and laugh in our community that everything has been done already, so like try to think of something original and different. That's exactly what I try to thrive upon, creating a new kind of reality, a new kind of aesthetic on stage. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what it is, all of the elements thrown under one cool umbrella that I named rock dance theater. So yeah, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense to me. And I've seen like clips that you guys have posted. Obviously, I haven't made it over to your neck of the woods to see you guys live. And hopefully one day I'll be able to do that. Once
Totally.
everything
Future is up
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, once everything calms down, goes back to normal, that's definitely on my bucket list because I really love what you guys are doing over there. Because I started like when I was younger, I was in musical theater until I was probably about 13 or 14, and did like different genres of dancing and stuff until I messed up my back when I was 16 because I'm a
Right.
dumbass. But that's an irrelevant story for another time. But I love what you guys are doing, definitely, for sure. So what goes into
Thank
planning a
you.
show like that?
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what? Planning, to be honest, well, going from the other side a little bit, with me, it even before I kind of created rock dance theater, starting off as a solo artist, which is pretty much what I was. I was always an individual. I could not work under anyone, in the sense of I had an artistic director above me or someone that kind of told me what to do. I always knew I had to be a creator. I had to do things on my own. Always had ideas, always was innovative. So to be honest, it's always an idea that hits me, and it's usually completely out of the blue. Worst possible moment, meaning, let's say, in the middle of the night when you're supposed to sleep, like bang, I get an idea of a concept for a show or something inspires me. And then, of course, it takes time, weeks, months, sometimes years before an idea develops. And so far I've been producing like 1 or 2 productions a year, which means in our world you get to premiere a show once a season or twice a season, and then you kind of throw it out there to tour. With us, most of the time it's like festivals, but also with rock dance theater, I had this idea and concept of throwing what I've been doing all my life, meaning physical dance, contemporary dance, choreography, but in different genres, more in the music world, more in the rock world. Because at the same time, I've been in the business ever since I was a kid. I started off super early when I was 5, then million years later, done all kinds of things, worked with many artists and under many kind of labels and groups and stuff, but always I kind of wanted to do my own thing. So there's, of course, production time, going in the studio, rehearsing stuff, not necessarily finding a team for that, because with each idea I was always inspired to do it with specific people. And depending on the time, how it allowed, and geography as well, okay, cool, we were able to do On Edge in Vienna, and then we had First Degree of Separation, then we did Sweden, Austria, Poland, let's say, so like a 3-country cast, and so on and so forth. So with all of the productions and projects that I've been doing, it was always a multi-geographical cast, always very international. And it's not always easy, because everyone has kind of their own life. Some people do have families and all, and other things to do in their life. This is pretty much what I live with. This is my whole life. What I do, and I treat it super seriously. Like, my projects are my babies. I laugh, but at the same time, it's just about having fun. I love what I do. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And sometimes, coming back to your initial question, because I tend to, go far off, because I just love to talk, I think. Sometimes it took literally a weekend and something was done. Bang, super spontaneous, which is actually also the origin of rock dance theater. Very first project we did with Victor, one of my first guitar players, ex right now, because we don't work with each other anymore. We separated ways, all good, parted and so on. We kind of just hang out all night in a club, and he had a birthday, and after many, many hours, him just jamming, and us talking and hanging out and just feeding up the vibe, I just told him, you know what, we just got to do something together. I don't know what it is, but I feel we totally need to head it off. And we did. We actually premiered in Vienna after, let's say, like 1 rehearsal. Total spontaneous. Bam, we put together the structure, spacing wise, lighting wise, sound wise, and that was it. So Rock Dance Theater has been born and is being born in the weirdest of ways. And I like it. I've done the traditional thing, meaning schedule and kind of format where you're working with specific people in a generalized manner. But with this, it might be crazy and hectic and chaotic, but of course you need, then again, hours to develop that, and weeks at a time before something goes out on stage and actually into public access. Because I'm a perfectionist. I really need to feel, okay, cool, let's do this, action, kind of thing. I never compromise, in the sense I better not do something, then do something I'm not sure about, that it's kind of, it works or it doesn't. It's not even about prejudging, is it good enough, because it's not for me to judge. Like, you tell me what you see or what you get out of it. For me, it's just my way of communicating with the world. Doing my shows and throwing my stuff out there, and the rest kind of is up to the people, as they say.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I love that it, like, because I find that the best things kind of come spontaneously, like you were talking about, and you just get random ideas and it just comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And you find stuff under the weirdest circumstances sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you know what? Like, the longer not only I live on this world, but I also work in the business, let's say, the performing arts business, the more I realize that. And it's a pain in the butt, because I'm this kind of people that are very stubborn. I have a huge work ethic and I love, schedule and planning and looking ahead into dates. That's kind of what I live for, travel to travel, show to show. But yeah,
Get
it's just
that.
like that. Sometimes the more you let go, the more shit happens, and it bugs me. I don't know how it works. I guess the universe has something to do with that. But yeah, it is a story of my life, that so many things that happened and people that I've met on my way, and I'm super grateful for all of that, has happened just kind of by chance, ta ta ta, and then the rest is history, as they say. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah, no. I totally can relate on the bit about like looking forward to like the next show, because that's exactly how I am. Like when I'm out shooting shows and I'm going from like this city to that city doing whatever, it's like that's just I'm on the next thing already. Like I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm in Pittsburgh right now and I'm going to Cleveland tomorrow and then next week I have this going on. And you get so in that trance, and people that aren't, I guess, and there's nothing wrong with people that aren't like into their work as much as
Mm.
that. But if you are into that, it's a mindset that you can't explain to somebody that doesn't get it. So I'm glad that you like feel the same way, because I have a problem finding people that kind of think that way. Because once you're in that like tour zone and you're like, okay, this project's going on, that project's going on, it's kind of hard to bounce out of it. It's like a coma almost, because it's like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's, I feel like what's going on in the world right now kind of like bounced me like right out of that, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to be in like Ohio and then Kentucky next week. Like I don't, wait, what? And it's just like it was a harsh like bounce out. So I definitely relate on the looking at the next thing all
Yeah.
the time.
Well, I totally understand. You know what? I think it just comes to passion, really, and controlled insanity, as I call it. Because if you really love what you do, number one, it doesn't feel like work. And us, let's say, in the business, if I can generalize, I think not many people get a chance to do that. Not having to kind of have a lame job that they hate, and then their lifestyle is kind of okay. They do arts or whatever else as a hobby, as a side thing. This is pretty much everything. I mean, I do have a different profession that is kind of close to home, also to performing. Most of the people pretty much have no idea that I'm also a physiotherapist, and I work in performing arts, and I'm into dance medicine and sports medicine and stuff like that. So it's kind of a balance, but to be honest, it's all about being in the arts sector, kind of. And you know what, nothing gives you that sense of grounding, that each day is creative. And for me, it's all platforms of expression. Even if I don't do a show, I do like a million different things. Let's say I do photo shoots and photography. I love doing music videos, and I jump into all kinds of weird aesthetics. Like 2 years ago, Ragnar Theater joined this kind of post-apocalyptic arts kind of association. I hooked up with people from Germany that are called the Cult of Chrome. Excuse me, they're going to kill me if they're going to listen to this. Um, and it's like a Mad Max kind of aesthetic, and we were doing also shows in that kind of matter. And I connected with some fashion designers that are doing really upcycling fashion, and they use all kinds of crazy materials. So it's all rust and screws, and metal elements, just like headpieces. It's totally like from a post-apocalyptic kind of era. So there's things even. And hell, everything that is that's kind of connected with it, and gives any kind of artistic expression, it just makes you happy. It comes down to that. That's why I also laugh by myself and also with my friends, like, who needs drugs? I so don't get that, because what I do gets me high. It keeps me wired up for
Yeah.
hours and hours in. Like last night, even I stayed up until 5 a.m. because I was inspired. I was doing all of these things. And I'm learning bass right now since three weeks, because I just felt like picking up a new instrument. And who knows, maybe at the end of this thing, when the whole COVID thing blows over, maybe I'm gonna do like a crazy duet with a bass player, next. I don't know. So it kind of leads me in all weird places, but there's always a reason for that. And now I've learned when I look back at it, I understand it after the fact, not at the very moment. So I kind of just go with the flow, and yeah, the rest is gonna fall in place. I laugh.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. And that's actually kind of ironic because I picked my bass back up in like January, and I've been trying to
Oh, did
learn
you?
like some older like Motley Crue stuff and like Alice Cooper like 70s-ish. And it's all been a lot of fun getting back into playing bass because I used to play bass when I was like 15, and then I just stopped playing for a while and I don't know why. So yeah, picking the bass back up has definitely been something fun.
Awesome. Sounds cool. Yeah, as you say, it, it,
Yeah.
it is a lot of fun. And initially, like, I never learned an instrument as a kid because kind of the passion for music on a practical level has been killed for me in primary school. My teacher also taught math. So it was a super love-hate kind of relationship. And I figured, no, I'm a different kind of recipient of music. It always has been with me and in my life. I worked always with great music, most of the time performing to it or having it as inspiration to do a show or a choreography. But yeah, I never played something, and the very beginning was me picking up a guitar, and then that kind of turned into a bass that was actually in my kitchen. If one of my bass friends, he gave me a fretless, and it was just kind of hanging around in my kitchen. I didn't really touch it. There was no time for it. Well, there were excuses, and I actually had the incredible pleasure, not to name drop, to work with Disturbed last year, not on an artistic level, more in the production side of things, like more like a movement consultant slash choreographer for some of the band members. And I was inspired, whoa, to play bass and seeing John Moyer, kill it. And he's such an animal on stage, so amazing. I figured, ooh, I need to learn his solo. And that was very, ambitious of me. Of course, I tried, was way too hard. I figured, okay, I need way more time with this. And funny enough, here we are a year later under these circumstances that no one would plan on Earth or want to happen. And there you go, all of a sudden, there's just time and space for that. So again, as we both were saying, there's always a reason for everything. We just don't know what the real reason is at the moment. So we just got to be patient.
Yeah, everything works out, and it's weird how life works out sometimes. So, I have one last question for you. Do you have any advice for people that are stuck at home that want to get maybe back into dancing or maybe start for the first time? Is there anything online that you can like recommend for them to go check out?
Oh boy, that's a tough question. For
Loaded question.
loaded. How much time we got? you, you know what? Pretty much, it all starts with motivation. If you do feel that you wake up in the morning and you miss moving, put on a tune that makes you just want to like jump out of your body. That's pretty much how I do it. I'm not going to recommend any kind of tutorial or course online because there's a bunch of it. Some things are a question of accessibility. The other thing is question of taste, who you want to train, what your possibilities are. Do you have a fast internet connection, stuff like that? Do you want to subscribe to any kind of thing? So there's different factors, finances, time, and so on. People are in a different kind of situation at this point right now. But to be honest, yeah, I would strongly recommend that. Like in the morning, I personally flip on Motorhead, Megadeth, Motley Crue, really hardcore tunes because that's what I love. That what inspires me to go on stage. Those are the songs that put the fire, like they lit the fire under the ass, I say. And if that works for you, you're good. Just you can just improvise. You don't have to work necessarily on your technique, which is also super important, of course, to do the regime, the proper warm up, stuff like that, to keep in shape before we're all allowed to come back in the studio and be on the practical side of things. Just eat healthy, sleep well, put in a certain amount of hours that you stay in balance, depending on what you do, what your lifestyle is. But yeah, I could recommend that. Throw something on that activates your passion and your will to do it, and the rest is gonna happen by itself. Just let the music do the action and the talking.
Yeah, just find something that lights that passion under you. No, that's great advice, and I
By the
really
way,
appreciate
I
an
need
honest
to
answer.
throw in that last words were that's a quote. Let the music do the talking. That was actually Joe Perry that I quoted. So it's not. Damn it, I didn't think of that. But then again, not to name drop. Also, one of the guys that so inspired me to pick up a guitar for myself. And to be honest, also one other thing was that the way Joe moves for me on stage was choreography. And one of the first shows way before I knew rock dance theater would happen ever in my life was kind of inspired by how Joe moves and how he plays. So, funny enough.
That's incredible, dude. That's so incredible. Well, thank you for coming on to talk on the podcast today. I really appreciate it,
Pleasure.
Anna.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, let's see us soon in Pittsburgh or elsewhere.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just come over to Sweden at this point. Like, I need to see you guys for sure.
We'll think of something,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I will definitely be linking some of Rock Dance Theater stuff in the description. So everybody, please go check that out. They do great work. And hopefully when all this stuff's over, I will be making a trip over to Sweden to check you guys out.
Awesome. As they say, please
Awesome.
invite me. I will go to everything at this point because everyone will be so starved.
Yeah, everyone's ready to get out of the house.
It's going to happen.
Thank you so much, Anna. Have a
good one.
day.
Thank you so much, Emmy. Take care.
You too. Bye.